Welcome back, everyone. We need to start today with a warning. The case we're discussing involves very disturbing content and graphic details.
Yes, it's important to be aware of that. It might be upsetting for some listeners.
Absolutely. We want to approach this story with the utmost respect for Katherine Janness, for Bowie, and for everyone who loved them.
Our goal today is to walk through the events chronologically, strictly chronologically.
Exactly. Starting from what happened on Wednesday, July 28th, 2021, and following the investigation right up to the present day.
It's a difficult case and still unresolved.
So let's begin with Katherine Janness, or Katie, as her friends called her. She was 40 years old.
A real part of the Atlanta community. She worked as a bartender, a bar manager.
And she was creative too, right?
Yeah.
Wrote songs, poetry.
That's right. She lived near Piedmont Park with her partner, Emma Clark.
And they had 2 dogs.
Yes, important members of the family. Tori, an older pit bull, 14 years old. She was Katie's dog.
Yep.
And then Bowie, who was Emma's dog, a younger pit bull, about 3 years old, maybe 50 pounds or so.
Got it. So Wednesday evening, July 28th, Emma's working.
Right, she was bartending. Her bar was down the street from Campagnolo, which is where Katie worked too.
Katie had been there a while.
About 5 years, yeah. Often worked late hours, kind of odd shifts sometimes. She also did work with the Whole World Improv Theater.
And that evening, Katie actually stopped by Emma's workplace.
She did, yeah, and Bowie was with her.
Okay. And what was the scene like in Midtown around the park that evening?
Well, pretty typical for a weekday evening, you know, people out at bars, restaurants.
Sure.
Folks biking, walking, jogging, lots of people walking dogs. Couples having picnics, maybe yoga classes happening, the usual park activity.
And Piedmont Park itself is a big landmark.
Oh, huge. It's often called Atlanta Central Park,
Mhm.
189 acres. Dense, lots of trails, fountains, gardens, a lake. It's even been used for filming.
Right, like standing in for Central Park in that Avengers movie.
Exactly. So a well-used, well-known space.
And Katie walking Bowie late at night, that wasn't unusual for her.
No, not at all, because of her job. Her work schedule meant late-night walks were pretty routine.
Someone who knew her mentioned that.
Yeah, a customer from Campagnolo said she routinely walked her dog late at night because she typically worked night shift. And he added, I think maybe she had a sense the park was safer than it is, which is just heartbreaking in hindsight.
Absolutely. So the last time anyone confirmed seeing them.
That was on surveillance footage near the Rainbow Crosswalk.
Okay, the one at 10th and Piedmont.
That's the one. Later that evening, Wednesday, July 28th.
So time passes. Katie doesn't come home from the walk.
Right. Emma starts to get worried, naturally.
Understandably.
She ends up using the Find My Phone app, trying to see where Katie's phone is pinging.
And this leads her to the park.
It does. It's late now, around 1 o'clock in the morning, so technically Thursday, July 29th.
Okay.
Emma gets to the 10th Street entrance following the app.
And what she finds is just horrific.
Yes. She finds Bowie first, lying in the grass, maybe 50 feet or so inside the park gate.
Oh, no.
And then, just moments later, maybe another 100 feet further in, she finds Katie at the foot of a tree.
Did she?
Yeah.
Did she check for a pulse?
She tried, but she realized Katie was gone.
I can't even imagine.
She ran out of the park immediately and called 911.
And the police arrived quickly.
Yes, Atlanta PD officers were on scene around 1:10 a.m.
1:10. Okay.
And the word they used to describe what they found was gruesome.
That word alone tells you so much.
It became clear very quickly that both Katie and Bowie had been stabbed multiple times. A violent attack.
Then later, the official findings came out. The medical examiner's report.
Yes, from Fulton County. It confirmed Katie died from sharp force injuries. Face, neck, torso, major blood vessels, internal organs damaged.
And the manner of death.
Homicide. No question.
The report detailed the extent of it, too. The sheer brutality.
It did. Blunt force injuries as well. And at least 15 stab wounds just to her face. Over a dozen more to her back.
And there was something else. Something carved onto her body.
Yes. The letters F, A, and T carved onto her torso.
That's deeply disturbing.
The medical examiner, Dr. Karen Sullivan, she believed, based on blood hemorrhaging around the wounds, that the letters were likely carved while Katie was still alive. Her throat was slashed, too. Stabbed in the throat, face, as we said, eyebrows, eyelids, nose, lips, each breast. The back wounds damaged her aorta, her left lung.
How many wounds in total?
Around 50 stab wounds. And signs of mutilation. It was described as an overkill situation.
But she fought back.
Yes! Defensive wounds. Found all over her hands, her extremities. She definitely fought her attacker.
And the earbuds found nearby.
Right. Suggests she might have been listening to something. Music, maybe a podcast. Possibly unaware until the very last moment.
Was there any sign of sexual assault? Her clothes were disturbed, apparently.
Her jeans were pulled down to her knees, yes. But the autopsy found no evidence, no signs of rape.
And Bowie.
The necropsy confirmed what everyone suspected. He died trying to protect her.
Such a loyal companion. Just awful. Then the FBI got involved.
Yeah, within 24 hours. Which, as you can imagine, raised eyebrows. It's not typical for a seemingly local murder case like this.
Suggests maybe they saw something more to it early on.
Possibly. Or perhaps just the sheer brutality warranted federal resources. It wasn't entirely clear why at the time.
And police asked for help from the public.
They did. They released photos of people seen in the park that night, potential witnesses, hoping someone saw something, anything.
Did anyone come forward?
It was reported that at least one person did respond to that appeal.
But then there was another complication. The park cameras.
Right. A major setback. The cameras near the actual crime scene? They weren't working that night.
No footage of the attack itself, or the attacker coming or going from that specific spot.
Exactly. A real blow to the early investigation.
In the middle of all this horror, Emma Clark posted something.
She did, on a GoFundMe page. Just heart-wrenching. She said, "Today I lost the love of my life, my baby boy. It was tragic."
She called Katie the most intelligent, kind, humble, and beautiful person I have ever known.
And Bowie, the sweetest, most loyal companion. She wrote, "My heart is so very broken, my world will never be the same. You can just feel the devastation."
Her father said something too, didn't he?
Yeah, Emma's dad. He said Katie and Emma would have been together forever. They were that couple. Just highlights the depth of their relationship.
And Katie's mother.
Yeah.
The timing was just cruel.
Incredibly cruel. Her mom was in Michigan. Katie was supposed to visit her that week.
Their first time seeing each other since Christmas 2019 because of COVID.
Exactly. A long-awaited visit that never happened. Just devastating for her family.
Police called the crime unusual and unique for Atlanta.
They did, emphasizing how out of the ordinary this level of violence was, especially in a place like Piedmont Park.
And a reward was offered.
Yes, eventually reaching $20,000. PETA contributed, recognizing Bowie's attempt to protect Katie.
But alongside the official investigation, rumors started flying.
Oh, yes. Online especially. There was one persistent rumor about a homophobic slur being marked on Katie's body.
But police never confirmed that.
No, they didn't. And they specifically asked the public to rely on official information, partly to protect the investigation's integrity, stop misinformation spreading.
And Emma Clark, Katie's partner, she faced harassment.
Terribly so. She became a target. Online trolls, baseless theories that she was somehow involved. Her address was posted online.
That's horrific. She's grieving, and people are attacking her.
Exactly. Her phone was flooded with awful messages. Her dad called her the new victim and all this. Just piling trauma on top of grief.
So years have passed since July 2021. Where does the case stand?
That's the frustrating part. Despite the brutality, the initial attention, no arrests, no publicly named suspects.
Still unsolved.
Still unsolved. The Clark family obviously continues to hope for justice. They keep speaking out.
And law enforcement, have they said anything more recently?
They were being pretty tight-lipped about the investigation itself, which is standard practice, to be fair.
But the medical examiner's report was released.
It was. And reportedly, that was against the wishes of the detectives and the FBI agents working the case.
Why would that happen?
It's not entirely clear. Releasing such graphic details can sometimes compromise an investigation, but it was made public.
And with no official answers, people speculate. Theories emerge online.
Naturally. And there are several main lines of thought people discuss.
Like what?
Well, one is that it was a crime of passion, maybe someone Katie knew. A revenge killing.
Based on the brutality. The carving.
Exactly. That level of violence often suggests a personal connection, intense anger. And the fact she was leaving town the next day, some wonder if the killer knew that, if the timing was intentional.
Okay. What else?
Another strong theory is that it was a hate crime.
Yeah.
Katie was an openly LGBTQ plus woman, the carving FAT. Some speculate it was meant to be fag, though again, that's speculation.
And Georgia law does cover hate crimes based on gender.
It does. Plus, that unconfirmed rumor about an attempt to slash a rainbow tattoo she supposedly had. And the location Midtown is Atlanta's biggest LGBTQ plus neighborhood. So the context is there.
Then there's the idea of a random attack.
Right. Maybe someone mentally unstable, possibly a transient who frequents the park.
But does the evidence fit that?
Some argue it doesn't quite fit. The sheer level of focused brutality, the carving, it seems like more than just a random impulsive act. And there weren't other similar attacks in the area around that time.
Could it have been more than one person, given the number of wounds?
That's been raised too, dealing with Katie, who fought back, and Bowie. Some think it might have taken more than one attacker.
People also tried to link it to other park incidents in Atlanta.
Yeah, there were mentions online of other cases, like Tory Lange's murder in Yellow River Park. But the circumstances, the methods, they seemed quite different. Probably not connected.
One of the most baffling things seems to be the lack of DNA.
It is puzzling. For such a violent, close-contact struggle, you'd expect the attacker to leave some trace evidence. Blood, skin cells, something.
But maybe not on Katie.
Perhaps. But what about Bowie? If he bit the attacker, which seems likely given he died protecting her,
then his body might hold the key.
potentially. DNA collected from Bowie, if any exists, could be run through CODIS or used for genetic genealogy. That technology has solved many cold cases with degraded samples. It's a possibility. A hope.
And there was that one odd anecdote from Reddit.
Yeah, unverified, important to stress that. Someone claiming a friend saw a suspicious person in Midtown that night, dressed maybe like a cop or a construction worker, someone who wouldn't look at a place.
But nothing concrete came of that.
Not that we know of, just another thread in the online discussion.
So 2 years on, July 2023, still no real public updates.
No significant breakthroughs announced, no. Which leads to immense frustration, obviously. A feeling that maybe the case isn't getting the focus it needs anymore.
The family must feel that intensely.
Absolutely. They continue to plead for anyone with information, anything at all, to please contact the police.
Which brings us pretty much to today. The case remains open, active, but unsolved.
That's right. The horrific deaths of Katherine Janness and Bowie are still a mystery, officially.
Yeah.
A brutal act of violence with no accountability yet.
The loss is just immense. For her family, for Emma, her friends, the whole community.
A truly tragic story and a reminder of the impact of violence and the ongoing need for answers and for justice.
So we'll end with this plea. If you, listening now, have any information, truly anything, no matter how small you think it might be, related to the deaths of Katherine Janness and Bowie in Piedmont Park,
please contact the Atlanta Police Homicide Unit. The number is 404-546-4235.
That's 404-546-4235. Your information could be what finally helps solve this case.
We appreciate you tuning in for this difficult discussion. Please subscribe for more explorations of complex cases like this one.
And feel free to share your thoughts below, respectfully, in the comments section.